How's it going, people? Sam and Slappy here, and it is Monday, which obviously means the behind the scenes is here. So yeah, let's get into it then. So February, what can we expect to see? Well, quite a few things, honestly. They've made quite huge changes to Demon Flash mobs, and that update is actually out today, so I'll go into that in just a little bit. They're also planning to add the Wildywyrm as well as Lava Strike worms to the game, which is quite nice, let's be honest. So the Wildywyrm is first opened as Toothy Mole back in 2011. This is quite a while ago. It was a little holiday event thing, and there was a Wildywyrm, well, in the Wildy, hence why it's called the Wildywyrm. But they are planning to bring it back permanently, meaner than ever and capable of dropping brand new gear to the game. She's also brought her little brothers with her, which require level 94 Slayer, known as Lava Strike worms, which will also be joining her. So the Wildywyrm will spawn very rarely, although JMods will be able to make her appear at their own whim, which should make things a bit interesting. Each killed Wildywyrm will offer a drop to everyone who participated in actually killing it, meaning more loot for everybody. The PK Fest afterwards would be interesting to see. And it does have some pretty shiny loot, some pretty shiny nice loot, and it'll give you the best player XP of any Ashes in game, just for a start. She and her little brothers will drop upgrade items for the Abyssal Whip, Staff of Light and the Dark Bow, and I'm sure many of you who played old school RS probably know some of these, or at least they're going to be similar, or at least named the same. These things will turn the Whip, Staff of Light and the Dark Bow into level 85 combat gear with unique special attacks and with new degrade mechanics inspired by old school RS. Try the new Whip, which can drag your target towards you, the powered up new Staff, or the Bow, whose passive effect and special attack really reward a high skilled player. So yeah. You won't spend coins to repair these weapons either, rather the base item will degrade to dust, leaving you with the upgrade item to reuse on a new base item. So this will add a nice little economy sink. As well, Whips are out price, pretty sure Staff of Light's probably out price, and Dark Bow's pretty close to out price. So there we go. It'll give a new use to those, possibly. Next is the 200th quest. I do believe it's the 200th quest. If not, it's the 199th. Either way, quest is coming, peoples. And this is the Dishonor Among Thieves quest. This is going to be Zamorak pulling off an Ocean's 11 kind of thing. Robbing the Stone of Jazz. So, as usual, expect me to probably have this guide up either on the day or the day after, same as usual. And all in all, that's pretty much all there is for that. I'll see you in the quest guide when it comes to that. Also, in case you've forgotten, for some strange reason, it's Double XP weekend coming very soon, 20th of February. So I hope you've got all your stuff in order. You currently have like 50k of herbs and stuff like that. Bang out the 99 herb lore, the 120 herb lore. You know, best be collecting those things. It's coming around the corner pretty quickly. On top of that is the charity weekend, which is why the Double XP is actually going on. So they will be live streaming for 24 hours on the official RuneScape Twitch channel. So there we go. Maybe worth having a little gander. You'll also be able to join in by donating cash to the Well of Goodwill or taking part in your own charity events throughout the weekend as well. The community team will be hosting a plenty amount of events, competitions and madcap challenges planned. You'll be able to buy new cosmetic outfits from the Solomon store, but 100% of the money gained goes straight to the charities in question. So there we go. Double XP weekend will last from the 20th until the 23rd of February. So get your shit together, people. So next in the list, player suggested combat changes. So, as polled last year, players apparently voted for the return of a number of monsters to be made aggressive again. I actually remember this because the game is immensely not harmful in any way, because nothing is aggressive and graves last 20 minutes, which means you lose nothing on death, so death has no consequence. Either way, that's going on a bit of a tangent. Due to the close nature of the poll, there was only a couple of hundred votes in it. We have removed the more dangerous monsters, such as dragons, from this list. But we will be adding many monsters to the aggressive list once more. And if people do eventually want the dragons and whatever else they didn't decide to add because apparently they're dangerous to the list, give them feedback and they will probably end up adding it as well. They will also be significantly improving combat responsiveness, which is kind of a major thing these days. This should hopefully allow you to instantly trigger an attack when you use an ability and change targets more easily. Revolution mode will also be improved to kind of coincide with this, and should stop and start in a more responsive manner. So all in all, good things. I do like it. It's about time stuff got a bit dangerous. Although getting rid of the graves would make that quite a lot better. I reckon we should give it a graves. What do you reckon? Yeah? Nobody likes graves. 20 minutes? No consequence. That's why everyone's so rich, let's be honest. Either way, stop chatting shit, Salmon. Moving on. Coming through this month on top of that is the Valentine's Day event thing. Same as usual, it's going to be hosted through the Treasure Hunter. You'll be able to gain some little item things. Depends on what they call them this time. Oh, there we go, they're going to be called them petals. Oh, you get some petals. And with those, you'll probably need to gain a load of them, and you can unlock new emotes, costumes, and weapons with a lovey-dovey feel, or the dark, bitter tinge. Same as, well, the last couple of years. So there we go. You can unlock any of the items you missed over the last 2 years, and the new crazy effects on offer include exploding your enemies into 1,000,000 hearts. Nah. Oh, whatever. Last but not least, Solomon's Store is getting 4 new wings. So if wings are your thing, there's 4 more in there. In fact, I could probably show you those now. Yes, I'll show you them, just in case you needed to see the fluffy wings. There they are. So these are your fluffy wings, right by there. Yeah. That pretty much covers it all, let's be honest. No, don't think I need to say anything else. So wings, that's the thing. So moving back to the demon flash mobs, which I skipped over earlier. What are they actually doing to it? Quite a lot. To be honest. Change it there. They're reworking it a fair bit. So first up, they've made battling the demon bosses a less punishing prospect. They're no pushovers, and you'll still need a team up to take them out, but the risk should be now more in line with the rewards you actually receive. So flash mob bosses' health and defense have also been reduced for this. Stuns applied to bosses' attacks now last only 1/3 as long. Healing applied to the boss has been halved. Healing applied to the bosses have been halved, should say. Bleed effects inflicted by demon flash mobs can now be cleared with the freedom ability. Bosses no longer cause bonus prayer damage against players using the protect item prayer. Note that the demon flash mobs now spawn every 2 hours rather than every hour due to these effects. So they're making the bosses themselves a little bit easier to kill, but they should still be pretty damn tough to kill, and will likely require you to team up, potentially. But they're also increasing the rewards, which means that instead of them spawning hourly, it's going to be bi-hourly. So there we go. Ups and downs, swings and roundabouts. 6-1 after. Oh, shut up, Salmon. The Dark Delights are plenty on offer for those who take down the Flash Mob boss, include a number of new additions. This is the Aggressive Combat Familiars. You can loot a Demon Claw from bosses, and with 82 summoning, you can make 3 new summons, known as a Brawler, a Executioner, or a Deacon Demon. 1 for each combat style, Mage, Range, and... I'm missing one, Melee. I'm out of it, don't mind. The difference with these... there's 2 differences, actually. These are actually aggressive. So let's say you go to Abyssal Demons on a task or something like that, or you've any kind of say task, whatever you want, and you summon this little bad boy and you tell it to go poke something in the face, or you attack something and he joins in. Yeah, he ain't gonna stop. He'll attack anything nearby and carry on attacking anything nearby unless you tell him to do otherwise. So in that respect, they're different from everything else. And the other special thing about them is all of them have an AoE attack, and the AoE range is pretty damn large. From what I've seen, it's pretty big. I would probably say twice as big as your barrages, maybe 3 times, 4 times. It's pretty massive, and it does a decent amount of damage from what I've seen. So it's no little pushover, plus the fact that it is aggressive and you can AoE with it could get you some very nice XP. A pseudo AFKN, you know, might be worth looking into. The other thing they're going to be adding to the demon bosses is demonic titles, and these are supposedly meant to be tradable. Yeah. So the demonic titles get the infernal honorific you deserve with the title scrolls obtained as drops from flash mob bosses. There's 14 titles in all to collect. I'm sure some of you are title hounds, so let's go over them. So, you've got General, Deacon, the Frostborn, the Obscured, the Shattering, Executioner, the Blazing, Glorious, Pestilent, Terrifying, Castellan, the Corrupting, Infernal, and Rending. There. Those are the titles. And that's pretty much it. But apparently these are supposedly meant to be tradable. So if titles are a thing, they may be worth a bit. Yeah, there we go. So last but not least, obviously it is Monday, people, let's be honest. So there can only be one thing left. If it'll open... Patch notes. Oh yeah, patch notes. 0202. So let's get into this, shall we? Graphical wise, the one-way window has been removed from the Terracotta and Azure versions of the player-owned ports bar. Some flickering issues in the fireplaces in pop bars have been fixed. The deep-sea fishing animation override now plays correctly. An issue with RM stretching when casting fire spells has been fixed. A minor graphical issue with the subjugation armor set has been fixed. An issue with overlapping of elements on the main parent interface has been fixed, as this was causing some unwanted shadowing. The animation issue for some of the Red Axe directors during Birthright of the Doors has been fixed. Moving on to skills and minigames, the firemaking and crafting skill guides now list the correct level requirements for Elder Pyre ships. Crystal Mage weaponry is now listed under the Weapons tab within the Magic skill guide. Moving on to the miscellaneous goodness, players will no longer change poses while chatting at the Serenity posts. The Seishyanga Kiba and the Makigai and the Tetsu Katana and the Wakazashi have been added to the relevant skill guides. Killing Virago in hard mode will no longer count 2 kills towards the relevant boss kills counter. Ooh, sure people have taken advantage of that for the final boss kill and stuff, no? Players can no longer rename their Golden Chinchompa to default name. Familiar right-click options no longer display if they are set not to show. Dragging salamanders from the worn equipment screen will now release them as expected. Dwarven multi-cannons no longer fire at players' familiars in the wilderness, as they do not fire at players. Arrow keys will no longer move the camera when switching between port ships via the captain's log. It is no longer possible to repeatedly call a pet. Auras no longer have an effect on free worlds. No. Passive versions of all shut up. Passive versions of all God Swords will now drop the tradable non-passive version in PvP if the player dies. The hyphen between option add to toolbelt has been removed for all objects that are part of the toolbelt to keep consistency with hatchets and pickaxes. Righto. Moving on to ninja fixes. Players can now quickly change worlds from in-game by opening the option menu by pressing escape and selecting hop worlds, thanks to our dedicatedly deadly ninja team. Examining a stack of coins on the ground will now display how many there are in the actual stack. The global cooldown when creating gate stones has been removed. Gems are now automatically stored within a gem bag when they're picked up. Happy days. The Catherby cooking house door is now opened by default. Grappling over obstacles whilst wielding a salamander now has a new animation. Right, don't mind me, my imagination is playing funny fuckers with that one. The Enlightenment Scroll timeout message now appears in red. Certain large animations should no longer block players' click areas. I just imagine someone swinging a salamander whilst they're grappling over obstacles. I don't know why. It amuses me to no end. Moving on, engine fixes. So entering a bank pin into the companion app should no longer take you to the bank instead of the page you were trying to access. So there we go. That is your Monday update, biatches. There is plenty to go on. Lots of stuff. Fairy Wings. The entire BTS of February is pretty massive. Loads of stuff's happening. And Demon Flash Mobs has been reworked. I'm going to use reworked. Yeah. So all in all, should be interesting. So, what are you looking forward to out of February's BTS then? Wildywyrm? Lava Worms? Demon Flash Mobs remake? The new quest? Double XP? Ooh, double XP. Combat changes. Gotta be said, I think I'm looking forward to the combat changes more than anything else. Yeah. Only thing left is get rid of Graves. Yay! Well, with that said, until next time people, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.